What's up guys, and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about a current topic, a serious topic, coronavirus in Russia. It got very serious here yesterday and measures have really ramped up in the last couple of days. First off, just a little update about what we have here. We don't have quarantine yet. Things haven't gotten quite that crazy. There's some panic buying, but not a lot. Take a look now at some video I took this afternoon in Red Square, 1 p.m. This is the center of the city, the main tourist area. Not so many people at all. And this video is from my local supermarket. It's much more crazy than normal, but still not insane like videos I've seen in the US, but there's still a lot less products produced than normal. So as of now here in Russia, there are only 114 confirmed cases of coronavirus, more in Moscow than anywhere else in the country. This is much fewer than you'd expect, of course, considering the population and the country size, and the fact Russia has a huge border with China, over 4,200 kilometers. However, shit has got really real this week, as the rise of confirmed cases from Monday to Tuesday was 47%, almost half. And if this continues, we're going to be in big trouble very fast. Today, from yesterday to today, it grew less, from 93 to 114, so that's 22%. And the Deputy Prime Minister here said that only 10 of the infections were transmitted within the country, rather than the rest of them, which are brought from abroad and brought home, like people going on holiday in Italy, for example. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the situation here and the response of the government, the Russian government, and also the different local authorities, in particular the Moscow city government. So as of March 18th, that's tomorrow, Russia will ban the entry of all foreign nationals and stateless people until May the 1st. And this is the strongest measure so far, and sort of came out of nowhere. Before this, just certain nationalities were banned, like Italians and Iranians. And this means, for all intents and purposes, that if you're not Russian or you don't have permanent residency here in Russia, you can't come in till May. Luckily for me, I'm already here and I won't be leaving. So yeah, it's good for me, but bad for everybody else. And for everyone arriving before March 18th, which as you're watching is basically March 18th, only a couple hours left, everyone who arrives has to self-isolate for 14 days upon arrival. So in reality, that's just going to be Russian people coming back from Europe, not foreigners. Russia's embassies and consulates all around the world today also suspended the processing of documents and issuing all types of visas. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that there's a number of small exceptions, like diplomats, and for people attending funerals here of a close relative. But for work visas, business visas, tourism visas, it's over till May. Before this entry ban, the Russian borders were closed in many areas anyway. For example, yesterday in the morning, Russia closed its border with neighbouring Belarus. On March 14th, Russia announced closing of borders, the land borders, with Poland and Norway. Some other countries closed borders with Russia themselves, like Georgia and Ukraine. So even without this ban, in lots of cases, it was pretty hard to actually get to Russia, apart from flying. And in terms of flights, there really aren't that many coming in anyway. Last Friday, Russia government announced it was limiting flights to and from Europe. And since then, they've really dropped off. It's hard to fly in and out of Russia now. And let's be honest, it's hard to fly in and out of anywhere in Europe now. Now the whole continent's basically on lockdown. Yesterday, Moscow banned all public events larger than 50 people until April the 10th. Before that, from last week, the limit was 5,000 people. Each area of Russia has its own rules. So some have said 50, some have said 1,000, like St. Petersburg. And there's still some areas with no official limit as far as I know. From March 21st till April the 12th here in Moscow, all schools and universities are closed. And many other regions are doing their own thing. They're deciding what dates to pick. It's basically up to the local governor or mayor. In terms of testing here in Russia, yesterday it was announced that coronavirus tests will be free for people in St. Petersburg and soon for everyone. But I'm really not sure about Moscow at the moment. But today, the Deputy Prime Minister, Tatyana Galikova, said that over 110,000 coronavirus tests have been given since the start of the outbreak. And the Russian government today announced that it supplied 427,000 test systems for the detection of coronavirus to the many far-flung regions of Russia. So it's looking good for getting testing. In regards to the Russian Orthodox Church, a massive institution here, they've said they will not be closing churches, they will not be cancelling religious proceedings, they want to be above events of the world. But they have changed some procedures to make the whole experience cleaner. A sad point for me, football was cancelled today in Russia, so it's cancelled until mid-April, so no more Russian Premier League. In terms of the Kremlin, in terms of Putin, everyone entering the government buildings have to be checked for temperature, and if they have any visible signs of being ill, they're not allowed in. And that goes for everyone, politicians, journalists, assistants, everyone. Now, in terms of quarantines, like in lots of countries, and some of the big stories here actually been about escapes. 2 days ago, a woman escaped from a hospital in Moscow. It happened a few weeks ago as well, right at the start of the outbreak. Earlier in March, it was reported that 100 Chinese students in Moscow would be deported from Russia because they violated their self-quarantine orders. So quarantine here is really serious. It's not everyone, like in many countries, but if you have symptoms, you have to have quarantine here, and it's really serious. Even so serious that the mayor of Moscow talked about people in quarantine be monitored with facial recognition. So if you go outside, it sees you, the police come and get you. So they're really strict on people not violating their quarantine orders. The Russians are not messing about with this. It's not like Italy. Not everyone's going outside, banned from going outside, but if you have symptoms, do not do it. So as you can see, yesterday was a huge day for coronavirus in Russia, and it's a massive change since the relaxed approach which was taken until about last week, until about March 17th. So March the 7th, sorry. Before then, there was just advice: avoid public transport, avoid shopping malls and other places at rush hours. Like I said, forced isolation after visiting certain countries or if you show signs. Stopping people from certain countries coming in, like from China and Iran. But now it's really all changed, and I suspect it will get more severe in the upcoming days. So I'm here prepared for quarantine, bought lots of stuff, I'm ready, and it's really amazing to think how things have changed since February the 3rd, when the first measures against Chinese citizens came in. So that's all, folks. It's getting kind of serious, as you can see. I hope you found this informative, and if things change dramatically here in Russia or here in Moscow, I'll definitely film an update video. There's been rumours going around online today that soon Moscow will be completely shut off. Everyone will be forced inside, like a really serious quarantine. It's not happened yet, but if something like that happens, I'll definitely speak to you guys about it here on my channel. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you found it informative, please give it a like. Please subscribe to me for a lot more information about life in Russia, and I'll try and update you guys on coronavirus really if there's any need to change. If you want to see some happy videos, I have lots of videos on this channel of me traveling all around Russia, and I hope you will enjoy them. So thank you very much, guys, and bye.